So, Family Guy isn't a topic I often discuss on this channel, but I am a big fan of the show. Although, I generally prefer the earlier seasons and episodes to more of the modern stuff. Recently, I was rewatching some of the episodes I used to really enjoy growing up. Surprisingly, there's an episode I really enjoy from a midpoint in the show's run, and that's the episode Friends of Peter G. It's an episode that I don't think a lot of people talk about, well, bar one iconic part from the episode. So I wanted to defend it and explain why I think it's so great. Okay, so unlike lots of episodes, there isn't really an opening gag or set piece. The episode establishes its identity right away from the beginning. So if you have seen any episode of the show, then you will know that Peter and Brian both enjoy a drink and consume booze on the regular. It's just the norm for them. It's a big part of the show's identity, and this one really explores it. So Peter and Brian are at the cinema. Peter is getting annoyed by all of the production companies in association with the movie. He just wants to get on and watch it, which is fair. It can be annoying, even if their examples are totally exaggerated. Like most outings between Peter and Brian and the guys, it leads to them getting plastered at the cinema. They're being loud, obnoxious, and disrupt the experience for everyone else. This is good. It's a clear and obvious example of Peter and Brian's drinking causing an issue for the general public. It is made so clear by the spectator that this is a problem, but done without any exposition dump. Clearly highlighting it through their actions. Eventually, Joe arrives due to the disturbance and Peter and Brian are arrested. We then cut to the courtroom where Peter and Brian are sentenced to 30 days of AA to try and get their act together. Again, this all happens in the first few minutes. No time was wasted on an opening set piece or elaborate joke. We're well into the plot now, and I just think that this aids the plot. I mean, equally, a good few minutes is dedicated to the incredible musical number halfway through, so that could have had an impact too. Either way, it definitely helps the pacing and seriousness of the plot they're telling at the moment. I think the actual AA scenes do a lot as well. So the spectator, along with Peter and Brian, listen to these people open up about their problems with drink. While there is the typical Family Guy humour on display, a lot of these seem to have some nuance and respect for the serious topic being presented. To these characters and universe, they need these meetings. It's a chance to open up and hopefully help their lives. So of course Peter wouldn't understand it. That's where some of the more humorous elements come in. Like to Peter, it seems to be what was the best time you've ever had drinking. You know, like driving your car down a water slide, rather than how it has damaged those around you. I think a character like Peter works for this kind of plot. It's a solid way for the likes of Bruce to explain about the audience feeling pandered, unlike if it were just Brian. He would not react positively if Bruce attempted this. While Brian's point of view is also an interesting one, Brian is clearly the reluctant source who doesn't believe he has a problem, and if he did, then AA would not be any kind of solution for him. It feels very in character for Brian to challenge the existence of AA and state people survived without it for years. It's an interesting approach for him to take, and a good way of presenting his resistance to the whole situation. I think the kind of selfish perspective Peter and Brian take by feeling sorry for themselves and stating that it's other people that have a problem with their drinking feels appropriate. They didn't want to do AA and are not engaging well with it. This feels like the next logical plot beat for these two. This selfish behaviour is taken much further by the pair of them managing to cause a whole group of alcoholics to relapse, despite all the hard work those people put in. It's a good satire on such a prominent issue. So earlier on, I stated that one part of this episode is truly iconic. Well, that's the Mr. Booze song. I love it. The tune, the church-like aesthetic, and the combination of characters on display, it's so good and captivating. But the subtext and context of it in correlation to the episode is dark. It's essentially Peter and Brian and a bunch of other people with a drinking problem lying and masking it from their loved ones. They're compartmentalizing it as they're not hurting them if they don't know, which is essentially the problem. The fact they are drinking is the issue. The plot does such a good job of presenting it with a lot of satirical ideas. The climax to the episode is almost like It's a Wonderful Life or A Christmas Carol in execution. So, unsurprisingly, Peter drink drives and crashes into a tree, as you do. It knocks him unconscious on the brink of unaliving. Death then appears and declares that he can give Peter another shot at life, but first he has to realise his issue with drinking. He shows Peter the different versions of his life, one where he continues his self-destructive path and abuses his family and cheats on Lois. So modern Family Guy then. I joke, but it is kinda true, let's be honest. Death also shows Peter a version of his life where he never touched a drop of booze. I love these scenes. They are honestly some of my favourite scenes of the whole show.
Hey, gang. Everybody line up for a Triple H, a hug, a handshake, or a high five. Your call.
Those your friends, Philip, Ernest, and Jonathan.
Do I at least call him John?
No, he prefers Jonathan.
One of those guys.
Fundamentally, after witnessing these two versions of himself, Peter realises that he needs to drink in moderation. It's a good message, not only for Peter and Brian, but many others as well. It is surprisingly deep and kind, especially for Family Guy. I mean, remove some of the more adult humour and this easily could be a Simpsons plot. My only slight qualm is Brian. He goes along with Peter at the end, but didn't really experience an epiphany. As strong as the writing is, I think it needed something for Brian too, just to tighten it a bit. So yes, I think this episode deserves so much more recognition. Please let me know your thoughts on this episode in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video and would like to stay up to date, then please hit that like button and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Well, with that, I will see you all in the next one.